What's going on, everybody, and welcome in to Bama After Dark. Yeah, I am live. Usually, this is a Tuesday. Usually, I do my show, a pre-recorded show on Monday nights. I was not able to do that last night, so I was like, you know what? I'll just go live today. Won't be here long, but I figure I give you guys a treat. First live on this channel, so thank you all for you know attending really on short notice. I really just got home from work and was like, yeah, let's just go live. I got some free time, so yeah, so I'm excited. And today we're going to look at the offensive depth chart situation for Alabama. Now, as everybody knows, on this crew here, uh, hey, regular guys podcast. Thanks for joining. Um, Everybody knows about the shows here, and that is SEC After Dark. That is our brand After Dark, and I also have another show that my cousin does. I do with him called Todd Talk Live. It's also part of this network. You can find this on this network as well. But we talked about the defensive side of the ball in one of our last videos. So we really hadn't touched me and him together on the offensive side. So I'm just going to give you my offensive side of the depth chart today. Won't be here long, about 30 minutes or so. But thank you all for joining. C Bama, thank you for joining. Regular Guys Podcast, appreciate it. C Bama, thank y'all. Shout out to you guys. First and foremost, I guess the elephant in the room, as you see right there, is who's going to be the quarterback. Now, I don't think there's any secret on who the quarterback's going to be week one against, Florida State. It's going to be Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson has all the tools to be successful in this offensive scheme. And I think it's really going to help out that Ryan Grubb is back in, calling the offensive plays under Coach Kalen DeBoer. I really think Nick Sheridan had called good plays last year. I would give him about a B overall in the season. There was some plays that you could say, and I'm not gonna harp on the kid because he was a third round pick of the Seattle Seahawks, but there was plays that was left on the field by Jalen Milroe, and there was plays left on the field by Nick Sheridan concerning his play calls. So I really think Ty Simpson is going to be that guy week one. And honestly, I think during camp, he's going to solidify his number one spot because this kid just oozes talent. And he's set behind Jalen Milroe for a couple years. He's been in this program. He knows this offensive playbook. And, he's really destined to have a great year. And honestly, with the talent he has around him, he sets himself up well to have a great year. It all comes down to the mental focus he has moving forward. And if he gets it right here, this kid could, and I'm not trying to sound homerish here, but it is a Bama talk show podcast. So yes, I am. He could be a dark horse Heisman at the end of the year. And I'll kind of fill you in on why I feel that way as we get deeper into this depth chart talk. But yeah, I really think behind him you have really good backups and true freshman Keon Russell, who is just absolutely going to be a stud when his time comes. 5-star talent, just absolutely great. And yes, Corey, I am a homer. Oh man, but Ty's going to have a great year under Coach Grubb. Absolutely, I really think you will as well. He's bought it. It's his time. Austin Mack. Austin Mack is another backup. I think he's going to be the number 2 guy and let kind of Russell develop and learn the playbook and learn the tendencies around this team and just get an overall feel of and gets to see how the fast-paced action is in the SEC. just build him up for that. Austin Mack, he's Coach DeBoer and Coach Grubb, top quarterback. They love a guy with his size and his height. So if it is Austin Mack's turn next year or Russell's, it's going to be another interesting fall camp and summer to talk about that matchup and that battle in next year's time. But I really feel like quarterback, QB1 is going to be Ty Simpson. Moving on to the running backs, Jam Miller, he had, I would call, they called it a breakout year. Now, honestly, it was kind of a disappointing season. He had 688 yards rushing. Now, that's nothing to scoff at, but I mean, he was the number one guy last year and really only getting 688 yards rushing. It's kind of lackluster. You kind of want to see him around the 1,000-yard mark or more, especially when you're getting most of the carries. But again, it goes back to Sheridan left a lot of plays in the running game for sure that was not called. And then, of course, on QB options, Milroe kept the ball a good portion of the time. Rick and Bonnie checking in. Rick, Bonnie, thank y'all for joining. So Jam Miller gets another chance at it, and I really think he's going to be the number one guy, get the most looks starting out. But a guy to watch, and on mine and Stacey's show, a live show we did back Saturday on Todd Talk Live. Go back and watch that if you want to see what was said there. But a guy who I feel like is going to get a lot of attention and a lot more carries as the season progresses, and that's Richard Young. Richard Young just has that it factor, and I don't know, how to explain it, but the little bit we saw on the field of him last year, he has the potential to be something special. And I think as the season progresses, as he gets more, gets on the field a lot more, you're going to see that, that it factor of him coming out, and the coach is going to start noticing that. It's like, we got to get him on the field more. A guy behind him, Daniel Hill. Coaching staff loves Daniel Hill. He is, I would call a big bruiser, top back. Keep an eye on him as well. I really feel like he's going to be getting some carries this year as well. But yeah, running backs, I really want to see Jam Miller step up, and I want to see more of a attack, a running style attack this year, not only to help Ty Simpson get into a rhythm in games, but the defense will then have to respect not only the pass, but the run as well. And that's something we kind of, especially in some games against, Oklahoma and Vandy, Tennessee, the games that we lost, we abandoned the run game way too early. I feel like we felt like we got behind. We've got to catch back up. When it's still in the second quarter, you can still run the ball. Heck, when it's still in the third quarter, you can still run the ball. So I hope Grubb, and I don't think he will, because Grubb is a very talented offensive-minded coach, and he's already made comment about how lackluster the running game was last year. So I really feel like the running game is going to pick up as a whole. Now, Jam Miller will probably see his stats bump up a little bit more. You'll probably have him. I would love to see him around the 800 to 900 rushing yards, finish the year. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I really feel like Richard Young is going to, by the end of the year, see most of the snaps, because I really feel like this kid, you're not going to be able to keep him off the field, because he's going to be that dynamic in this offense. Locked on Vandy, thank you for joining us. Feeding Jam Miller is key, and thank you for abandoning the run versus Vandy. Yeah, you're especially happy for that. And man, what a this is a guy got you on, and Corey is the one that runs Locked on Vandy. He's also on our show on Thursday night at SC After Dark. But I'm sure we're gonna have a collab for the Vandy game. But I'm ready for that revenge game. Diego Pavia, but what can I say about that kid? He's truly special, and I have to admit it. the dude owns the state of Alabama because he's got 2 wins against Auburn. Thank you. And then 1 win against Alabama, unfortunately. But we'll see how it plays out in Tuscaloosa this year. Moving on to the wide receivers. Here is a group that is, I swear, guys, probably 8, 9 deep. And there's not, outside of the top 3, you, of course, Ron Williams, Jeremy Bernard, and Isaiah Horton. There's a few guys who's got some experience, but overall, there's not a lot of experience in the young guys. And this is the reason why I think at the end of the year, Ty Simpson could be a dark horse Heisman favorite and in the Heisman running. And this is kind of a bold prediction, and I'm going to have a show on bold predictions with Stacy on Ty Talk Live. Eventually, we're going to do that as the season gets closer. But I really feel like if everything falls into place here, if you have Ron Williams, who I believe, gets 1,200 yards, at least I would say, let's just say 1,000 yards receiving. Jeremy Bernard gets 1,000 yards, and Horton gets 1,000 yards. That's 3,000 yards there. Then you have a guy like Jalen Hale who got hurt in the end of the year. Cole Adams who can step up and be the 4th guy. Both of them is going to see some action as well. Get some catches. You have them hovering around the 400 to 500 yard mark. No telling what Jam Miller and Richard Young, the guys out of the backfield, plus the tight ends, what they could accumulate in this style of offense. So it's a stretch, but 3,500 yards passing for Ty Simpson is not out of the question this year. It's a big ask, especially for the top 3 guys to hit the 1,000 yards, which I believe they will. At least 2 of them, Joe Menard, Ron Williams, Isaiah Horton, just they're great guys. What a elite pickup by this coaching staff to get Horton in the transfer portal. Locked on Vandy said Horton is a nice addition. Should open things up for the Ant Hunter. Yeah, man. Ron Williams is a special player. We saw that last year. Corey, sorry, I'm bringing up Georgia game. What he did in that Georgia game, that's really what turned eyes to that kid and how special he could be. But people, he's going to get his, and if you keep your eyes on him, then you have an Isaiah Horton or a Jeremy Bernard who's going to be loose in the seam or loose on the outside, wide open. And if Ty can hit those top big plays, this team is going to set up nicely. One question is, a lot of people has been asking, who's going to be wide receiver number 4 outside of those guys, those top 3. I really feel like Hale and Adams will see the most looks. Cole Adams did really well in that spot last year until his injury, and then Jalen Hale, he got had a couple of big plays and big moments before his injury as well. So I feel like those guys are the most experienced moving forward. But don't sleep on Rico Scott. Don't sleep on Lazier Brooks. Those 2 are very young. Rico has had some playing time. He played a little bit in the, I think, in the bowl game against Michigan. He had a couple of drops, I believe. If he cleans that up, other than that, that's really the only knock on him. He's a fast kid. So I feel like he can get some looks as well, but really feel like Hale and Adams are going to probably split time depending on the matchup and the situation for wide receiver 4. And of course, Ron Williams, Jeremy Bernard, and Isaiah Horton is going to be your top 3 guys that is going to be the go-to guys for Ty Simpson. Moving on to the tight ends. This group here, it's there's some talent. Josh Cuevas is back. He's been in the program for a couple years now, and Danny Lewis Jr. he's been in the program as well. I've not really seen a lot of playing time for Danny Lewis yet. I expect that to change this year. He's a solid kid. Josh is a great kid as well. I feel like they're going to have. Oh wow, sorry, Justin. Thank you for joining. Ty will throw for 4,000 yards, over 4,000 yards. I think he would throw 4,500. Man, I mean, it's a possibility if everything goes right and there's no injuries to the outside players on the wide receiver side. That it definitely you definitely could see a 4,000 yard year for 4,000 career passing yards this year for Ty Simpson, maybe even 4,500. And if he's got 4,500 passing yards, he's probably going to have 35, 40 touchdown passes, somewhere around that range. Probably, 4 or 5. Hopefully he'll have 4 or 5 picks. But if you've got 4,000 yards passing and you are 4,500 yards passing with about 35, 38 touchdown passes, you're going to be a dark horse, Heisman runner. So I really like that. And I wanted to say about 4,000, but I kept it down about 3,500. But if he does get to 4,000, it's going to be hard to keep him. At least look at him as a Heisman favorite. Going back to tight ends, these guys here. Daniel Lewis has some good hands. Cuevas is more. I mean, he's a good hands guy too. He's more of your run blocking tight end. He's a blocking tight end per se. But if both of these guys have some success, especially in short situations, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, just do a little hitch route right in the middle of the zone, and just make that play. These tight ends are going to help give a safety blanket and a safety net to Ty Simpson, and eventually, the defense may have to be worrying about what Daniel Lewis is doing on the opposite side of the field, or what Josh Cuevas is doing on this side of the field. That may end up leading, one of the guys wide open down the sideline, or maybe down a seam. So, I really want these tight ends to, help Ty Simpson get in the groove early on, especially against Florida State. The key for me in this Florida State game is to keep the chains moving and don't get bogged down in 3rd and long situations. Now, that is that seems like it's a thing for every single game, and it is. I'm taking the easy route here, the easy out per se, but yeah, you want to keep yourself within striking distance every 3rd down play, and you don't need to get into the 3rd and longs and put pressure on Ty Simpson early on. So yeah, I really think these tight ends can help out and do that. One guy to keep an eye on moving forward at tight end is a guy like Marshall Pritchett, Jack Samarco. He and Brody Dalton, both of them were spring transfer additions. Both of them could see the field as well. So just keep your eye on that. But I really feel like the tight end position is going to be just fine. Moving on to where 99% of the game is won, and that is in the trenches. Alabama brings back 3 starters from last year's team, all of them with tons of experience. Left tackle is set with Caden Proctor. Right guard is set with Jaden Roberts. And center is set with Parker Brailsford. Who is going to be the right tackle and who's going to step up to be the left guard? That's the 2 key issues, with we still have on the offensive line. Now, there's talent everywhere, and there's a lot of young guys on the offensive line that have not seen a shot yet that may see some playing time this year. The offensive line is deep, it's not very experienced outside those three guys. Wilkin Formby, I feel like is probably going to take over at right tackle. He took his lumps last year a little bit when he played, and I think just seeing that, getting a little bit of experience, and seeing how the SEC the speed is, I think it's going to help him out, and he's going to get better. Everybody knows what Caden Proctor did in his freshman year. His feet were not set properly. He allowed a lot of sacks. Didn't even get out there to guys. But what did he do this past year? He did great this past year, and he's improved every single year he's been on the field. So I feel like Wickham Formby can do that as well. Now, left guard, it's a little bit more open battle, but I really feel like right now the leader is Cam Dewberry, but Gino Vandermark could step in and play as well. But Cam Dewberry does have some playing experience at A&M, so he knows how the SEC is, the play of the SEC. So I feel like Cam Dewberry is going to be the left guard moving forward, and you may see Gino Vandermark be kind of like that sixth man, maybe plugged in when somebody rolls an ankle and needs to come out a few plays, or maybe give somebody a break, or helmet pops off. You know how these things work now. So I think outside of those two positions, Alabama's set, and I think this is going to be the best the offensive line has played in a long time this year, because of the experience that they brought back in Caden Proctor, Jaden Roberts, and Parker's Brailsford. So I really feel like this team offensively sets up well to have success. Now, it all is going to depend on how successful they are, on how good and how quick Ty can get up to game speed. And I really feel like he can do that. Anybody got anything in the chat they want to talk about real quick? That's pretty much the offensive depth chart. I'm going to talk about the defensive side probably in a few weeks. May do that next week. I'll probably just do a recorded video on that. But it'll probably be Monday if I get time to do it. Just so much going on yesterday. I just never had time to do it, but do the show yesterday. So that's why I'm doing a live today. But I'm excited about the season. Justin, I know you're excited. Locked on Vandy, you guys are excited as well. Rick and Bonnie, regular guys, I know you guys are excited. See Bama. It can't get here quick enough, guys. Honestly, it seems like the offseason been forever long. It's insane. But once July 4th hit, man, it's just flown by. I mean, we're in the 22nd day of July. It just seems like last week was the 4th. I mean, it's crazy how quick it goes. August rolls around, you start having fall camps. So the feel of football is starting to take shape, that you can smell in the air. High school football starts. August, when we're just a few short days away from August, that's when, the excitement starts building. That's when the teams report for camp, and that's when you start seeing a little bit more footage and see how things take shape and how it's going to be playing out on the field. Rick and Bonnie said the Florida game will reveal a lot. Yeah, that Florida State game, I'm very interested in that. And we've talked about it ad nauseum, but I'll touch on it, for a few minutes. There's a lot of intrigue in that because, Thomas Castellanos was at BC last year, the starting quarterback it was at Boston College last year under Bill O'Brien, but he got benched. Now he's at Florida State. And then they bring in Gus Malzahn. Gus Malzahn, and if there's any Auburn fans here, I'm sorry, but Auburn's program went to crap when y'all fired Gus Malzahn. I've talked about that at nauseum. We've talked about it at nauseum. Dude was winning 9 games. He's had the most success out of any coach so far. Again, well, now ever against Nick Saban. Won 3 games against him. Is winning 8, 9 games a year, and you fire him, and your program hadn't been the same since. But they go and get, Gus, pull him from a head coaching job to put in at offense coordinator. So their offense is going to be really, really good. Malzahn is going to be ready for that game. Kane Womack has got to be prepared to match, play for play defensively and get the plays out there and see what if there's an audible that's called from Malzahn. He's got to get the new play in as quick as he can. Justin said the season will be here before we know it. I can't wait. Me too, brother. Me too. But yeah, that Florida State game is going to reveal a lot. But I think you're going to see you're going to see 2 things. I feel like in that game, you're going to see a much more fluent offensive style or an offensive game for Alabama. And I'm not knocking on Jalen Milroe. I love Jalen Milroe. He's a great ambassador for the university. He's a great kid. 3rd round pick for the Seattle Seahawks. They see value in him. He has a ton of value. He's a ton of talent, has a ton of athleticism. But this offense is going to run a lot smoother under Grubb and under Ty Simpson, I do believe. Number 2 is I think the defense is going to pretty much open eyes across the nation on how dominant they can be, because this defense is going to be scary good this year, guys. We bring back a ton of talent on the linebacking core, on the defensive line, secondary talent. Is as deep as it's been in a long time at Alabama. So, this game has a tendency to bring those 2 things out. And I really do believe that it may be a close game at halftime, but in the second half, Alabama figures things out. Ty Simpson figures things out. The running game gets going, and Alabama is going to open that game up. And an early prediction, I think Alabama is going to win that game by at least 14 to 17 points. I can see them winning by 17, honestly, because Florida State has improved, but you got to be better than your 2-10 season for sure. But I don't think talent-wise they're up to snuff to where Alabama's at yet. So they're going to be good. They're going to be a lot better. I can see a 6-6 year for them at the at minimum. I would say 5-7 at minimum. That would be the floor, and the ceiling probably be like 7-5, 8-4 for them. I just don't see them hitting their ceiling, especially in the ACC. It's too good this year. Golly, Justin, I love it, man. I love it. If it's 45-10, that will open up some eyes, especially how good the defense is and how fluent this offense is going to be. So yeah, you're right. And Gus is good, but he won't have it all together by first game. You may be right on that. When he was at Auburn for years, he just knew the tendencies and all that. With him moving to a new spot and a new, I'm sure Mike Norvell is going to give him some luxury to call plays and to interject some stuff in there. But the players, unlike at Auburn, he's instilled that with his players from 3, 4, 5 years, as long as he was there, that they already knew what to expect. Now you're going to a totally different place. Nobody's really seen. I think he did bring a few players from UCF who transferred there, but for the most part, nobody has seen and game plan and seen his scheme. So he may not have it together all first game. You're correct about that. So we'll see how it goes. Justin Becker, thank you for joining. I will miss Justice Haynes and Kendrick Law, but quote, they say the newcomers are next level. Yeah. Justice Haynes, I hated that situation happen. I really like Justice Haynes. But Could have been a product of not getting a lot of playing, a lot of carries. It could have been from play call and all that, but Jam Miller stayed, and I would have figured Jam Miller had been the one who would have left because he was running back number one last year, and he didn't get as many carries I thought he should have. Justice Haynes has got uber talent. Kendrick Law, that's another one because I really felt like we underutilized Kendrick Law his entire time he was at Alabama. We should have done a lot more wide receiver sweeps with that kid, the little shovel passes to him, things like that, because in open space, Kendrick Law was fast as lightning. That one to me is gonna hurt a little bit more than Justice Haynes, but we're gonna be okay. We've got talent galore at wide receiver. We brought in, like I said earlier, Isaiah Horton, and the running backs. We still got Jam Miller, Richard Young. I really feel like is going to be in the long run better than Justice Haynes. Both of them is going to be elite though. Daniel Hill, once he starts getting on the field as well, the coaching staff loves him. So that's another name to keep an eye on. So at running back, you'll probably see him some as well. But yeah, it's going to be it's going to be good. And I always say this. I'm glad I'm not on the coaching staff because I don't know how I'm going to get all these guys their due. What they're owed. Todd Simpson is going to have to give it to Ron Williams. He's going to have to give it to Isaiah Horton. He's going to have to give it to Jam Miller. He's going to have to give it to Jeremy Bernard. He's got to give it to Richard Young. He's got to give it to everybody. And how do you spread that much, especially when you got talent galore like Alabama does? How do you make sure everybody gets theirs during the game? It's something that the coaching staff's going to have to work on, try to get some matchup favorabilities, and go from there with it. Justin said it would be just as hard for them as it will for us because we'll be running a totally different offense. Yeah, Ryan Grubb will bring in a different mindset for sure. The thing about it is, Justin, I feel like I mentioned with Gus earlier, some of the players that were under, Kellen DeBoer last year, even with Nick Sheridan not calling plays, I think he's still on the coaching staff back at tight ends coach. I may be wrong on that. I haven't checked, but it's familiarity. I cannot say that word. Familiarity. He, Grubb is bringing in, his playbook pretty much and his schemes, but Kellen DeBoer ultimately this was his playbook anyway. So the continuity is there with the players. It's just got to be implemented on the field, and it's got to be played out as it is in the book, playbook, and how the play called is called to be played out on the field. So yeah, Justin, I agree with you. Ty will feed everyone. Man, you're high on Ty, and I love that because I am too. And a lot of people, Alabama fans, we call them, Gumps and all that. You can call us Gumps, whatever. The Fogs, I call them, the football only Gumps. Everybody's like Keon. I love that. The dude is going to be great. But Ty Simpson has paid his dues, and if the coaching staff feels like he gives us our best option to win the game, then I want the coaching staff to put him in that position, not Russell. Russell was going to have his time for sure, and that's with any situation, any position. The coaching staff implements whoever they put in each position. If they feel like that guy will give 110% and is the best case scenario for us to win the game, that's what I want on the field, and that's who I want on the field as well, because I trust this coaching staff. Kellen DeBoer has been to the national championship game. I hope nobody has, after this last season, nobody has given up on him, because I don't feel like you need to. So, that's another thing we'll touch on is special teams. I really think they're going to be okay. Getting Cole Adams back, I'm sure he'll be returning some punts again. He did really good and kickoffs. So wonder who the other guy will be beside him on kickoffs. We'll have to see how that's played out. I'm glad we have Ryan Grubb back. He is so good at eye candy and getting everyone feed you fed. Yes, you're right. So, but anyway, guys, this is just a quick episode, offensive depth chart. I've already done 3 episodes. I think this is the first one that has actually been put out on SEC Out the Dart channel. I don't know why I can't figure out how to do a recorded video and get it put on the channels. I got to figure all that out. But I'm excited for the season. Next week, I'll probably go over the defensive depth chart, and I may do a live again in a few weeks, just depending on how it goes. But there's 50 of y'all here. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for getting the comments. And guys, I will see y'all on the next one. And yeah, before I go, Bama After Dark 2. That is this show's Twitter account. I monitor it. I'm also at J Thomas TTS. That's my personal one. But I'm going to start using the Bama After Dark 2 one a lot more. Get more interactive. Grow this channel. So tell everybody about this. And again, this may just be a solo journey. I'm not 100% sure. I may see if Stacy wants to tag along as well on this. I'm not sure what his plans are for that. But if it's just a solo journey, then I'm all for it, because I just love talking about Alabama football and Alabama sports in general. I cannot wait for the basketball season. That could be another episode as well. But football is king. We know that. And that's what we're going to look for the next several months. So anyway, guys, thank you all for joining. Thank you all for the comments. And yeah, beat Auburn and roll damn Tide, Justin. Thank you, Justin, for the love there. And Justin, Rick, Bonnie, Bama, Locked on Vanny, all of you guys, thank you all for joining. I will see you on the next one. Please like, share, and subscribe. Tell all your friends about us. And I'll be back real soon. Thursday night, we'll be on the big show at SEC After Dark. Make sure you join us there. So y'all have a good one, and see y'all on the next one. Roll Tide.